Welcome back to Shack News E3 2018 booth here in West Hall in the shadows of the Nintendo and Sega booths. Well. If it isn't Joe Tirado,
what's up?
My arch nemesis. No, how you doing, man?
You gotta talk to Mike.
We're kind of arch nemesis.
Nemesis.
We haven't had our rematch since the last WWE thing.
Yeah, I know.
Where I came for your belt on your pay-per-view.
I didn't have a belt.
No, that's right.
That was just an exhibition match.
I came for the belt, ran through you, but didn't make it to the end.
You didn't make it to the end. Yeah. I'm Asif Khan. This is David Craddock. We got the folks from System America. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Joe Tirado, communications on System Era.
And Riley Gravatt, sound designer at System Era.
So you're here to talk about Astroneer.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes, we are. Yes,
so this game is in early access for how long?
We've been in early access since December 2016.
But you've made truck tons of money.
We've done good.
So, like, are you guys having like rap video parties in Seattle, or like what's going on? Like,
I think
you guys buying company cars that are Tesla Roadsters? Like, what are you doing that's preventing us from playing this game so far? Because like, come on.
All of that's just been funneled into growing the team. So
awesome.
Riley's part of the original 5, essentially. Original 4, then Riley, and then Zabir. So there were 6 when the game launched, and now there's like 17 of us.
Yes. We got 17 people, so we've grown a lot. We're just actively updating the game, so kind of listening to feedback. It's a little slow process. We're improving the core features of the game. So by the time we hit 1.0, it'll be like 10 times better than the original released Astroneer.
You're going straight from 1.0 to 10.0.
Yes.
10 times better.
Yes. Like Battlefield. We'll just jump a random number and say it's Astroneer 45 now.
I think Windows was the first to do it with what they skipped Windows 9, and then iPhone skipped iPhone 9. So now, like, maybe you guys should just do Astroneer 9.0 at launch.
I mean, we'll be technically 9.0 soon, or 0.9.0. So we could probably do something silly like that. Yeah.
If you round it up, it's 1.
Yeah, that's true. That's actual math. That's what makes sense. So we'll probably do that.
Was it the addition of Battle Royale that led to the unannounced delay of this game?
Basically, we were like, oh, we're going to release the game last year, but we got to build, Astro Royale. So.
And then there's basically amiibo support that you're working on too, right? Because this game, like, why isn't this announced for Switch yet? Are you guys sleeping? Like, what's going on?
We are awake.
I know Adam. Adam had an NX. He had an NX dev kit back in the day. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, I got the NX. Where's Astroneer on NX?
We are, so like I said earlier, we're sort of like growing the team. And where we're at right now, we're focused on making sure that the game is great on Xbox and Windows 10, and then Steam. And then we can explore other options later, but really just focused on, because if we start doing too many things, we're not going to.
It's Unreal Engine 4. It's not like you guys are having to build your own engine.
That's
Epic's
true.
doing it, and then they gave you money. What were they? Who did you trick to give you money? Epic gave you this huge grant, right? What'd you blow that on? More Tesla Roadsters?
That was, yeah, I wish. It was hiring people like myself and the rest of the team and just growing out the studio, so, yeah.
But I thought it was as simple as just pushing a button and it works on Switch.
I wish.
It's like a drop-down menu in Unreal Engine.
It's actually a switch, not a button.
It's a switch.
Oh, I love it.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
So we'll have to flip that switch when we get back. I think we forgot to do that.
If you need help, we can stop by and pull levers for you too. If it's one of those things. So what were some of the big announcements you folks have made here at E3? I'm hearing release date action.
And a new trailer.
Yeah, so we launched a trailer with on Inside Xbox yesterday. Showed the release date, some kind of mysterious structures that we're excited to kind of talk about. But yeah, we're going to be releasing the full 1.0 game December 2018, like Joe said earlier.
Yeah. Do we have the trailer? Should we run it?
It's running.
Oh, okay, it's running.
Somewhere
happening right
in New Jersey, people are queuing trailers and whatnot.
Somewhere in the world. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, so the big stuff that comes out of that for us is the 1.0 release date, which means we're going to continue. We're going to finish all the stuff that we have slated on our roadmap to get to 1.0. But then we start working on the other things that like didn't make it into scope of 1.0 that we're like really excited about. Making stuff for creative types of players, doing stuff like customization. I mean, there's a lot there that we're really excited for. But yeah, our focus is making 1.0 a huge advancement for our game, So if you played the game in 2016 and you jump back in around then, you're going to look at it and go, wow, this is pretty different in a good way too. Then we're talking about the structures. For that, the big thing there for us is we got a lot of feedback that people wanted like goals in the game. It's more of a sandbox title right now. And so that's going to allow us to sort of flex that muscle to give people actual goals to drive towards after they've, like, the game you know and love is still going to be there, like the deforming and building bases and building vehicles and customizing everything, but then you're going to use all those skills to like tackle these things, which is super fun. We're so excited for that.
You know our community. We're all
Yes.
about shack battles, community things. We have this Minecraft server that had been around forever.
Yeah.
A lot of community efforts for building things or tunneling, you know. Are you folks looking at that maybe and thinking of ways to have your community really engaged and, you know, thinking multiplayer? Can you talk a
Absolutely.
little bit about what you're thinking on from the multiplayer standpoint?
Honestly, like knowing Adam, right? He brings like that perspective, like from Shack News from those days. Adam was a part of that huge Minecraft community that was on Chatty that like ran that server, and so I think his experiences in that are shaping some of the ideas that like are shaping the game now. So like cooperation, playing together, having those fun dedicated server experiences. Like, so part of what we announced was dedicated servers are going to allow crossplay.
Oh, so that's where the money's going.
So we're working on expanding those things and letting more people play together. Right now it's 4 people. So dedicated servers allowing all of our players to play together, not, you know, siloing them off because of Steam or Xbox.
Oh, so it'll be cross-platform.
Yeah, so it'll be cross-platform play in dedicated servers, which means like if you're in one, you can invite anyone from any platform that we're on to play in
Wow.
that server. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're totally expanding on that. And like I said, I think that comes from all of our experiences playing games with other people and saying, this is how Astroneer should be played. It should be played with all your friends together, having a great time in your own little world.
And it's this game where you can play it by yourself and have a great time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's almost a completely different game once you start cooperating with people.
It really is. I definitely feel like both sides are really great. I'm personally more of a multiplayer person. That's why I love Chatty. That's why I love Shack News. We had a lot of fun playing multiplayer games. But for the people who don't want to do that, you can enjoy the full Astroneer experience without that.
So are you thinking maybe some sort of Rocket League mod with these buggies?
Yes.
Actually, Joe and I have already built a Rocket League course, and I've like kicked our secret kind of like zebra ball around into goals. So it's already
Okay.
there.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the devs over there are big Rocket League fans, and I've seen some of your buggy trailers that you've been doing. You know, another really cool thing that I think Systemair has been doing, you've been very open and communicative with your community and just with everyone publicly. Talk about that vision and kind of what you brought from some of your time at Shack and at Greenlit, where it's really vlogs, in-depth looks, and how that's really emboldened the community. Because like I see memes of you now from your Discord that are pretty hilarious. So yeah, just talk about that decision to be more open. So I think a lot of problems with early access games is they don't communicate enough, and then people get frustrated. So
Yeah.
I think you guys have done a really good job of that. If you could talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I came from Shack News, right? One of my first jobs in the industry was working with the Shack News community, rolling over from GameFly and getting all those people engaged with what we were doing, which was awesome. Like, I cut my teeth on that type of work and learned a lot about, and one of the biggest things I learned personally was just being open and honest with people. Oh my God, Sam Chandler's here. I'm so excited. Being open and honest with people is, like, some people are afraid of that, but we're embracing it. We're just saying, hey, we're developing a game. We're a new studio. We can tell you when maybe things didn't go as planned. We can also tell you about things that we're working on while we're working on them, because early access is about getting people's feedback and getting people's input. That's why you do it. And so why not like double down on that and just take that idea and just push it as far as we can. So yeah, kudos to the team for, you know, taking that idea and saying, yeah, let's do it, let's run with it, and bringing someone on who could, you know, do that. It's been really fun. So yeah, that's been awesome. Did I miss anything?
No, that's good. Riley, I wanted to ask you, as the sound designer, what are some of the items on your plate right now as you're moving toward that 1.0 release?
There's a lot of cool stuff. Right now I'm like revamping a lot of the ambience, because actually Adam's working a lot really now on Terrain 2.0, and we're revamping our entire like planets and the look of them. So right now the audio is kind of following behind that of like getting them to kind of sound as making the sound design as beautiful as it looks. So that's kind of like my big goal right now with everything. But
will there be music, or is it just ambient sound?
Both.
Okay.
So there's actually unique music per planet, and the sound design kind of follows suits to that. So
Yeah. And you should talk. Oh, sorry. You should just talk about Wise and how like you've been implementing that, and how there's like different versions of each song and stuff that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, for the music, we're using a middleware called Wise, which allows us to kind of actually, based on what you're doing in the game, change the way the music is actually playing. So sometimes you might not hear the same type. You're hearing the same track of music, but it's completely different soundings if you're in a cave, or if you're low on oxygen, or if you're in outer space versus on land. If it's day or nighttime, everything changes. So that's kind of been a big process for us last year.
Sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm actually opening the chat because I want to read it. So.
Joe's just looking at Twitter right now.
He's engaging chat. How sweet. Well. Look who's engaging chat.
I open it, and the first thing I get is Krabs going, Joe is actually Prince's son. That's his thing right now. He thinks that I would win a Prince lookalike contest.
I could see that.
For me, it's just your hair. Your hair is it's like at 11 out of 10 right now.
So
he must have had extra special like garlic hummus in there today.
Before we left, he's like, I gotta do this. I have all these things to do, and he ended it with, and I gotta get a haircut.
Yep.
I had to. I couldn't go out on the show and look all haggard. Sorry, I keep talking without a mic. Yeah, I had to make sure I showed up for this stream because I knew we were going to talk about it.
When you don't get a haircut and you don't shave, you do look kind of terroristy. So it's something that I think is. I can say that I'm brown, but like, you're. Just in case Twitch is going to ban us right now.
You said that before. You have to shave.
I have to shave all the time now because like you look kind of scraggly. Then
it gets a little scraggly. A couple years ago I went to Egypt, and I specifically was like, okay, if I'm going to fit in, got to grow the hair out, got to grow the beard out a little bit. And people were coming up to me the entire time I was there, just like speaking Arabic, like assuming.
Not with these security lines.
No.
You need to have a fancy shaved head on one side and then the hair flipped over.
Hold on. Okay. All right, nice. Now
there it is.
Do you get the Dapper Dan too? I don't know what you're putting in your hair these days. It's definitely.
What's your product?
That's definitely Unreal Grant money in that hair.
What I will say is, ever since we talked about hummus, we've thought about trademarking the hummus hair brand.
Yeah, I mean,
you got the alliteration there
this
too.
This is like 4 years in the making. I need at least 10% of sales because I came up with this. I don't know why we did.
Nice. I see all the communities going crazy right now. This is great.
Awesome.
Yeah. By the way, if you're watching and you're not a part of our Discord and you like Astroneer, you should totally join it. We hang out in there a lot. I'm sure someone will put the link in the chat. It's like discord.gg/Astroneer, but also the Shack News Discord. I hang out in there sometimes.
Yeah, you guys come in occasionally.
Yeah, I'll
drop
go in
a thread
there.
about what's going on.
Yes, or Chatty, right? We haven't really talked about Chatty too much yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You guys post occasionally in there.
Yeah, yes, super exciting to be here now.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, remember our first Shack News booth?
I do. It was all the way in South Hall.
South Hall.
Now look at us.
Yes, exactly. I wish everyone could see this because this is actually really awesome.
Right next to Sonic.
Yes.
Yeah, we're next to Sega and Nintendo.
I see Nintendo in the background. I see Sega.
The Nintendo executives balcony is right there, so they've been like looking down at us and like,
so
Reggie's
Joey. I see Joey right now, but we'll talk about him later.
Yeah.
So like Reggie just comes up and he looks down on this booth and
he
says,
looks
like,
down approvingly.
Okay, nice.
And he's like, "Why isn't Astroneer on our platform?" I'm just saying. Like, I felt like the Switch announcement today was kind of lame. It focused on Smash. But I was hoping to hear something about you guys or something about more indies. I know they have other events, and E3's really changed. It's become about direct presentations, less about being in front of press.
Yeah, totally. It's like speaking directly to consumers, which is why we're doing stuff like this. We want to be talking to the people that are watching the show, which is also why it's awesome that you guys are doing this too.
Yeah, we're holding out to get the Switch until we get the Astroneer and Smash Brothers. So all 4 suits.
So yeah, if
That's
Sakurai's
synergy
out
there.
there, if Sakurai's out there, an Astroneer amiibo would go a long way to getting this done. So like, what would Astroneer's what would his ultimate be? He's not really much of he's a lover, not a fighter, right?
Definitely, probably
he would like wave.
Be down would be drop ship down onto someone.
There you go.
I love it.
I feel like the natural bee, it might be like a Kirby kind of thing where they suck up the person and spit them out. Yeah.
You got to use some terrain deformation in there too, though.
You could do like the May wall and build a wall instantly that it comes
You
up.
could
or
shoot a
something.
bunch of voxels at people.
Yeah, or you
I
could
can
like
see
call
that.
in. Actually, I feel like you could call in the storm and have those UPS packages pelt the player over and over for a
Yeah. That would be whatever like the symbol thing that floats around that you have to collect. That would be the ultimate.
The ultimate, yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Well, if they're listening, which they probably are because they're right there.
Yeah, I just gave them all the ideas. Like
Yeah.
they should just do it.
That's what we do at a lot of our streams. We just give devs free ideas because we don't want to do it, but we figure you got Unreal money now, so like
The ideas
go
are
for it.
hard.
Yeah, once we think of the ideas, it's super easy just to make the game. It's fun.
Yeah.
So Joe, like merch.
Ooh.
What kind of Astroneer merch are we gonna get? Like, why don't I have like a System Era hoodie, and like why don't I have like an Astroneer plushie?
Okay.
Like, what are you
so-
doing? Are
so
you guys
we have-
asleep at the wheel right now?
We have some merch. It's through Fangamer.
Okay.
You can go to fangamer.com/Astroneer, I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, I'm bad. I don't know the link. But if you go to Fangamer, we have a set of merch. It's hoodies. They're not System Era branded. They're Astroneer branded. But we will definitely announce more stuff like that. We
Yeah.
will definitely announce more cool things because we know that Astroneer is like a really cool brand that people like attach themselves to, and we want to expand on that. It's just like all the things we're talking about. It's like even though the team is big, it's still not AAA big, right? So we have to sort of
Sure.
pick our battles. Merch is definitely on the list, but the other thing too is like if you look at the Fangamer merch, it has the designs of like the dropship and some of the Astroneer stuff, and that stuff might change.
Yeah.
And so doing a bunch of merch now means we might do stuff where if we make changes to the dropship, oh gosh, now we have to like now we have the vintage Astroneer art, which
Well, and here's an idea. Since merch and logistics and shipping and warehousing and all that nonsense is tough, why don't you guys just do some loot boxes with cosmetics? Put some microtransactions there.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like something that we'd want to do in early access.
Awesome. So I can quote you on that? Loot boxes, not
We-
something we want to do?
The plan right now is to get the game out in early access, finish what we have on our plates as far as like what we have in the roadmap, and then update the game for free after that.
Free?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's
yeah.
crazy talk.
Yeah. Okay. We got the time.
We got time.
So we want to like keep updating it with the stuff that we have on our roadmap, and then honestly, the idea is to have Astroneer be a platform that like eventually we want to keep putting content into the game, and however we do that later, we're not focused on that right now. We just want to get the game out.
Because you're focusing on PC launch. I know you're going to be on Xbox as well, but PC gamers love to mod games. This game seems like it would set itself up for mods.
Yeah.
What kind of plans are you making now for future support of that kind of thing? Is because Steam Workshop is already there.
Yeah.
Are you guys thinking that far ahead, or is this something where you're just really focused on 1.0 right now?
I mean, the team has definitely talked about it. We definitely recently we have it on the roadmap. It's something that's sort of in the backlog of the roadmap, but it's in our heads. Yeah.
So the problem right now with doing full mod support is we're constantly changing things in the game. So if someone like spends like 50 hours of their weekend just like grinding to make this awesome mod for us, the next update we could easily break it. So we haven't done full mod support just because we're not quite like able to support the community. Once we kind of stabilize with the build and everything, that's when we are able to kind of fully do mod support. Because we love mods and we want to support Astroneer with mods as much as possible. We don't want to ruin people's mods. It's our kind of hesitancy right now.
Yeah.
You're really careful and precise in everything you do with this game. And since Riley, since you've been part of System Era since near the beginning, I'd like to hear more about the process of building the team, because conceivably you could ramp up to 30, 40 people, but you're very selective. What is that process like?
Yeah, the whole team is just built of amazing people from the AAA background that stem from like experience working on Halo, like at Microsoft, Ubisoft, which is Adam. I myself came from EA and Disney, but then we also have a lot of people that also came from fields like Minecraft and like the indie kind of audience with things like Galaxy or Centrest and those things. So we kind of have a nice blend of like AAA and indie that kind of create this awesome team dynamic and culture that really like we've been really selective about just like kind of having this great group that like care about all the little things and care about like building a game that community wants kind of have. So
That's very cool.
it's been awesome to see.
You got some
Yeah.
crab questions?
So people are asking me to dab, which I'm not gonna do. I just did the fake dab. No dabbing allowed.
I'm okay with this.
I'm not gonna
I don't
dab.
want him to dab.
Personally. But people keep asking, because we said we were going to talk about some update news on this stream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're going to break some Shaq news here?
We'll bring you a little so we're working on an update. Aside from all the news we talked about, crossplay, dedicated server things, the high-level goals, and the 1.0 release date, we're still updating the game. And so we'll be updating with some new stuff this week.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're going to continue doing that. We have
So that's why Adam's up in Seattle?
That's why the team. That's why it's just us here, and the team is still working super hard on the updates and continuing to
Isn't
develop
it
the
a
game.
pain in the butt to come to these when you're a dev? Because, especially if you have to have a vertical slice ready to go, it's like, oh, here, work on this demo that's only going to be used this day. And then, by the way, you still have to finish your game by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's sort of why we broke off. Some of us to come here and talk about things, but we're still working on it.
You've been traveling quite a bit, though. You were at DreamHack.
Yeah.
You were at, were you at PAX East?
I was not at PAX East. That was one of those where we were just like in the middle of implementing a huge system. We're like, we'll skip that one.
Yeah.
But we will be doing.
You
the
have to
plan
come
is
to
to do-
PAX Prime.
Yeah, it's in our
right
hometown.
in your neighborhood.
Yeah, so we're gonna. It'll be fun. It'll be
Okay,
super
we'll
exciting.
try to stop by in some facet.
I would love to have you by the studio and show you around and stuff.
That would be
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Because that was my first PAX Prime last year. I definitely want to make that part of my rotation.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're doing some crazy stuff with esports. So.
Yeah, we should talk about doing some stuff together at PAX too. That might be fun.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, how you guys are gonna keep going once this is done. Because this is a game. If it is like a Minecraft, or if it is like this game that really doesn't end, doesn't really have like a campaign. What are the things that you think will increase its longevity? What are the most important things that you think will make this a 5-year, 10-year story game for a game?
I think the big thing there is what we have on our roadmap for post 1.0 is like we want in early access we've been updating every month, right? Every month we're doing our best to make sure that we put stuff out there, and it's actually prepared us, I think, as a team as we keep growing to keep that rhythm up after the fact. So the plan is to just 1.0 is a huge advancement of the game, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that we'll put in at that point, but then just keep going and say, okay, you guys wanted water, cool, let's figure it out. You guys wanted automation, great, let's figure that thing out. So the idea is to keep building on it, keep bringing people together, keep expanding on the core of the game, because we know it's good and people like it. It's just a matter of getting all the things in there that we want, and then kind of going a little crazy. I could see us. You're talking about mods, right? So at some point, opening the floodgates and just letting people explore that world, and that's really what happened with Minecraft, right? It's they started off as a sandbox game, then they reached this critical mass where they had a lot of players, and people just started making their own game essentially.
Well, another huge part of it was
Talking a lot.
making the game appeal to Twitch streamers and earlier on YouTubers. So if you could talk about just how you think the community has been already with that. I know I saw you had a YouTuber that met you at DreamHack that was super stoked. But it's cool to see the organic nature of how these games, like Minecraft wasn't some huge budget, that became this billion-dollar franchise. It was just a couple of guys that had a dream, So it's how you go from this little nugget of inspiration to showing it to the world to the point where they want to create with it. It's almost like making this more about a tool set than it is a game, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely a tool set or a canvas for players and streamers or YouTubers to kind of build their own experience for their fan base. So in a way, we're just kind of having a sandbox or a canvas for players and anyone to just entertain themselves or fans, just kind of with what you do. And each experience, because it's a sandbox, is its own kind of event. So if I play the game or Joe plays the game, it's completely different. I might go exploring a lot or build some really cool structures. Joe wants to build bases and create really intricate kind of things. So I think that's kind of where it lent itself to that YouTube kind of thing. And it was a small kernel of an idea, and our audience is what kind of made it big. It's the fans that are the ones that watch YouTube streams or whatever and kind of grew it into what it is and hopefully what it will become like down the line. Such a bigger thing.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we see that right now. I keep mentioning this on streams, but we see people like, this is actually relevant for you guys. There's someone right now who's making Mario Kart racetracks in the game.
Yep.
We get people who are recreating the Golden Gate Bridge, like in the game to scale with like all sorts of math being done. So that's the kind of stuff that we want to encourage. The Rocket League thing that you mentioned, like, you know what? Cool, make your own Rocket League map and play the game. And we want to keep encouraging that going forward because that's where you get those sorts of long tails. If we can give you the tools to do that, then use your imagination to create whatever you want, literally.
I think, like, Breath of the Wild last year, right? They made a set of systems, but they never had any idea what gamers were going to do with those systems. Right. I think that's really a key in game development, especially open world, these kind of builder games. It's important to just not close off anything. Let anything happen. And it's always, like, magical when you see someone else with your game kind of discover something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like one of my favorite anecdotes is like, because it's all about building these intricate connecting systems. And one of my favorite ones was on our main menu, when you launch from a little satellite, and that's in space. And it's actually a physical object in the game that's orbiting the planet. And if you land on the planet, and you can look back up, and if you're like, have a keen eye, you can actually see where you came from. And you can use the deformation tools to like dig up terrain, like a bridge, back out into space, back out onto the shuttle that you had launched on, and you can actually go back to it if you really wanted to. It's a lot of work, but it's there. Like, we don't stop you. There's no invisible wall stopping you from getting there.
So is the Tesla Roadster in the game now?
I mean, we have a bunch of cool NASA like stuff in the game. I would not be angry at having a little Easter egg with some Tesla stuff in it.
Because I think Elon released the math for the trajectory, so it shouldn't be too hard to put it in the game.
I mean, let's do some math here. What years we're in the what century are we in the Astroneer universe that we call it?
Oh, that's a good question.
We'll have to ask chat. We'll do the math there. We'll figure it out. We'll have some sort of message or something.
Yeah, because
I mean, people looked at that suit that they put out and they were like, that looks like an Astroneer suit. We got a lot of that.
Have you had Elon reach out to you yet?
No.
Oh, come on. Elon, come on.
Yeah. Elon, you're copying the game with the suit, so...
We're right here.
Yeah.
We're doing the space thing. We love it. Let's
talk
together.
Let's figure this thing.
He read Shaq News, so we'll definitely get him on this.
Let's figure that out.
Yeah, he's
cool.
busy with flamethrowers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, so
not flamethrowers.
Yeah,
not
flamethrowers.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so remind us of the release date, because I still don't believe you.
December 2018.
December. It doesn't
December
have a date yet.
We want to pick the exact date, because here's the thing.
You're going up against Smash Brothers.
We're going up against a lot of so we got to be a little. But the plan is by the end of this year, the game will be out. In
Wait
1.0.
a second. December, Smash Brothers, an Astroneer amiibo, Astroneer confirmed in Smash. Okay, cool.
No comment.
Got it. No. Well, hey, we really appreciate you guys stopping by. It's kind of surreal to interview Joe Tirado.
I used to sit there.
Yeah.
I used to stand there, start the stream, then run over here and then interview people.
You used to sit here, and I would look I'd look disapprovingly at you from afar
and make fun of my hair. Yeah.
And I still am here making fun of your hair after all these years. I'll be here forever to make fun of your hair.
That's fine.
I just want one last thing, just because I think it means a lot to you folks at Systemera and also the community. It's really amazing to see a lot of Paul's work in the game carried forward by this team. And if you just talk about how this really is an opportunity to share like Paul's vision along with Adam's vision for this game.
I mean, every time you look at stuff, every time you see the game, losing Paul was really tough for the team and his friends and everyone around. But his legacy of like his talent and his like unbelievable work is like in every corner of Astroneer. And so even while we're adding new stuff, we're thinking about those things and his philosophy and bringing that forward. And I think that's super important to all of us on the team.
It really feels like he's going to live on in this game forever.
Yeah, for sure.
But hey, once again, thank you guys so much for stopping by.
Yes. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Are you going to be in the tournament?
If I can work out this, what time does it start tomorrow?
Starts at 12:30. Check-in is 12:30 tomorrow.
Okay. I think I could swing by and fail really badly, but
Okay.
still have my name on the list of participants.
This would be like a WWE level
Yeah.
storyline if you somehow win and I have to write you a check for 30 grand.
I'm going to come with the feather boa, the hat with the sequins on it, and I'll be ready to rock and probably fail.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So at SES_dev.
Yes, at Astroneer Game on everything else.
Okay.
Discord, Astroneer.space if you want to get the game. Yeah.
If you're watching this and you haven't bought this game yet, like, what's wrong with you?
Come on.
Like,
Come
let's get on that,
Look
Chatty.
at us. We're cool. You should totally
Yeah.
buy the game.
Can you tell everyone to do it for Shack News?
Do it for Shack News.
Oh, yeah. All right, so stay tuned. We're going to be back with some more interviews with devs. We got a long day ahead of us, a long E3 ahead of us.
Yes.
So stay tuned, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.